It's me. It's me. I'm a person. I'm in one. Well, I'm in several pieces, but I'm. By God, I'm here. I might need a secondary brace. I've discovered, but we're gonna be fine today. Hey, captains. Hello. Arctic, thank you for the. Or sorry, congratulations on the first. And Sammy, thank you for the Spotify. My Spotify reminder. That's why I have that whole thing. Is to, okay, whatever. Turn this music down. I can't hear myself think. All right, get this over here. Arctic, hi. Rotten, hi. Emily, crazy entrance. Callum, hi. Justice, hi. Emily, you are also going to hell. Crazy. What? Disabled, hi. What happened to hi? How are you? Crazy. Rat, hello. Perfect timing. I need to clean. I was just about to watch an old video as a body double. Look, it's me, the real body, here to double you. Only several hours late. The kids are gone. I'm finally free. Welcome to your freedom. Hi, Ollie. Hello. Almost in pieces. Just about. Just fucking about. Jesus Christ. I'm coming apart at the seams, chatters. I'm falling apart as we speak. I'm in pieces on the goddamn floor. But I'm here to do my best, because that's really all I've got. It's all I have to offer. Oh, there's a hole in my shirt. Oh, there's several holes in my shirt. Oh, there's many holes in my shirt. Hey, what happened to this shirt? This shirt is many years old. This is a shirt I got from Warp Tour. Yikes. Ah, wrong, not that. Hello, everybody. My name is Almosander, and welcome home. How are we, chat? God damn it, it's sad Noah Khan music here for us to remind you that new Noah Khan music is dropping in April, I think. I think he's dropping a song on the 30th, and then he's dropping a whole album in April, which is crazy. Anyways, hi, how are we? I'm sorry I'm several hours late. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream, because I hurt so much right now. Your hair is very gender today. Thank you. I have not gotten it to, like, sit normally, so it's just doing whatever it wants. This is really a look. I'm finally, like, starting to get, like, what I feel like is, like, my lion's mane back. I have felt very bald for a while. My hair's been very short and very boring. Why is my light, like, the light of God right now? Can we chill? It's a little bit better. Still does not feel correct. Alexa, light level 10? That doesn't help just at all. But yeah, anyways, this is my lion mane is finally, like, starting to grow back in, because my hair has been so short, and I just can't stand it. But I'm coming back. I'm coming back. We're making our return. We're making our return. Yeah, my mane. I feel like I've lost it, but it's coming back in. So very excited. But yeah, anyways, my elbow just fucking hurts so bad today. It hurt so bad driving home. I thought I was gonna blow up, but I'm here. I'm in one piece. It's gonna be a little hard for me to do things, because doing anything with my elbow hurts right now. But it's wrapped, so I'm not gonna, like, blow up or anything, and I think I can still draw, so I'm gonna attempt to draw, and if it starts hurting too bad, we'll just sit and talk. What the heck happened to your elbow? It's just like this. This is what having bad joints is that my body just chooses a joint, and it's like, that one, and then it stops working. It just blows up on the spot, actually. Disintegrates. Hopefully, though, I'll have answers as to why it does that and what I can do about it. Well, actually, hopefully I have answers as to why it does that soon. Unfortunately, if it is what I think it is, there is nothing to do about it. Took a pic of you to my friend who cuts my hair and told her to give me your haircut. That's dope as hell. Did it include the tails? Did you get the tails? I forgot. I have like 50 requests on my TikTok to do a hair 360 again. I'm gonna have to do that. People always do be asking about the hair. Working on it. Yes! Join the tails. They're so annoying, but I love them. They mean a lot to me. I was about to say I'm so tempted to do this. I'm telling you, a lot of people have. I love being a hair inspo for people, because I used to have so many people that, like, I was like, I want to have their hair, and nowadays it's like, I want to have my hair. I love my hair. Oh, it's ad time. Hey, all you non-ad watchers who pay for my money, or pay for my medical bills by subscribing to me. Hey, Pookies. Just know you're my favorites, okay? Just want you to know. You're special. Anyways, do you want to hear my piano progress, and then we can get back to drawing? Oh, also, Apollo may or may not come in here today, but since he's been really liking sleeping on my desk in my dice tray, I've decided I was going to try to get him something that isn't a dice tray that he could maybe sleep in. So I got him a ramen bowl for cats. It's a ramen bowl, but it's for cats. And it's got walls, which is what he likes. So I'm gonna see if he'll sleep in there. And right now I've got the cover in there, but you can like whoop, and there's ramen. It's very cute. So I'm gonna see if he will sleep in this instead of my dice tray. I put it in the same place my dice tray was. He has sat in it, but he hasn't slept in it. So we'll see. Inspired me to do that with the hair by my ears, currently growing those out. Love that. Don't let rotten near that. They'll try to eat it with their hands. I respect that. That's gonna be fan art in the future. I sure hope so. But ramen cat. If I was a cat, I'd sleep in that. I'm telling you, it looks great. It's walled, so you can press up against it. It's fluffy on the inside, like a duvet. Like, I would sleep in there if I was a cat. I'm hoping he'll sleep in this one. I have bought him so many beds previously, but he doesn't like sleeping in things unless they're, like, hard surfaces. Like, whatever. Anyways, I don't have much piano progress. I like giving you guys a piano updates when I can. I've been working on 2 things specifically. One of them, isn't actually working on. It's just that I've learned the, and I have to take my headphones out. I have to be able to hear myself. The one I showed you guys last time I was on stream. I don't know if you can hear okay. This. So I have that I can do now. I'm working on learning the low side of it, but I don't know it yet, so I can't really show you. But I'm working on that one. That one's in progress as we speak. Dragon song, yeah. I had to curl up on my sister's lap when I'm not cat shaped. Well, I'm the wrong shape. Oh, it's hard to curl up on my sister's lap. Yeah, it's hard not being cat shaped. Honestly, I'd love to be cat shaped. My other thing that I'm working on learning is Bo Burnham's Goodbye. Now, previously, when I left you off on Xander Learns Piano Core, let's close this so it's not so loud, because you can hear the air conditioning right now. I'll open it again in a minute. But previously on Xander Learns Piano, I was working on Bo Burnham's Goodbye, which is that entrance. So this is the one I was working on previously, and previously this is the only thing I could do on it, because I was still learning how to be able to play with 2 different hands. Now I can do, the thing is, I can't do this hand yet. I haven't learned the patterns with this hand yet, so I'm still, because it's like here, and then it's like, I don't know it. I truly don't know it. I'm working on learning this one. I don't have it memorized yet, but I have my left hand memorized. It doesn't sound as well, because obviously this hand is just repeating it over and over again, but being able to play the same notes with this hand, with a different tempo of notes with this hand over here, is the hardest thing I've learned to do so far. So what I currently have is, oopsies, hello. Okay, so the entrance, or the intro, is just this for 4 times. And then it changes. So I can do that now, which is like the base of knowing how to do it. I don't know how well you can hear like the lower hand working, but it's working. It's working. I'm playing piano. It's working. So I have that, which is really fun, and it's cool to play. And then obviously I'm working on oops. Oopsies. Hello. That's where. Oops. What note is it? It's... No. Oh, that's why. I'm one too high. No, I'm not. There's a note here, but I don't remember what it is right now. That's what it is. There's something wrong here. Is it this? That's what it is. There we are. That's what it is. So the final, I keep forgetting that I have to move down a key with that one. So the final section of it is there, there, there. And that's where he starts singing. But this isn't a lower key. This is not actually Seasons of Love. The beginning intro is Seasons of Love. But it is in a lower key change because it is actually the reprise of Seasons of Love in the reprise of what is the song called? What the fuck? Open your doors, I'll be your tenant. Don't have much baggage to lay at your feet, but sweet kisses I've got to spare. I'll be there and I'll cover you. Cover you, I'll cover you, I'll cover you. I literally had to sing it to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, that's what I was... It is the reprise to Seasons of Love at the open of the reprise of I'll Cover You. That's why it sounds slightly off. Anyways, back to being a person. I'm actually going to switch over to my liked playlist because that's what I want to listen to right now. Shuffle, please. Yeah, sure, Youngblood, you can be here. Okay, hi. So, anyways, I'm here now. That's what I have. I'm going to sip my tea. I also am going to go get my water. I'll wait until somebody demands a hydrate, but I will go get a water in a moment. I love tea, but it never feels very hydrating to me. Like, I feel like cold water really, like, you know? I know hot water is better for you, technically, but who drinks hot water unless it's tea? Hi. Okay, let's do some art. I'm tired of planes. I'm sorry, Reese. Thanks for body doubling. I'm starting to feel like it's time to read plane rules. You're gonna do great. You and your planes, it's gonna be great. Also, this thing I'm wearing in my ear, I found it at work. It's it's just an O-ring. I found an O-ring and I put it in my ear, and now I took it from work and now I'm just wearing it because I like it. I don't know, man. Anything's jewelry. Ow, if you try hard enough. Eh. It broke it. Fix it. There we go. Hello, Dada. How are you? Let's shove this back in here. All right. I have two pieces of art I'm working on. My Zadkiel piece and my full collective piece. I've been staring at the ring the entire time. It's a captivating ring. It is captivating, isn't it? It's literally just an O-ring shoved through my piercing. So, I have two pieces of art I'm working on right now. One of them is Dear Zadkiel over here. I need to work on this one because this is his individual piece, and it's a jingle, yeah, jingle, jingle, jingle. And I've officially been working on, I have stolen the pose from Pinterest, but I'm working on this, which is my giant collective piece I'm going to do for Art Fight this year. So I am working on drawing everybody. So far I have Sawyer and Kane, Genesis, Brianna, Othello, Azazel, Myra, Zadkiel, Embry, and currently Bald Jace, because I haven't finished him yet. And this will be Xander. And then if I decide to do Star and Lucas, it'll be these two, but I don't know if I will. But that is where I'm at so far. I've been working on this little collective of people. So, and everybody's got their own layer that they are like fully like drawn in, so I can actually like go back and like work on them individually, which is why there's so much overlap going on there. Damn, Fanny can't sit on the normal human couch. Yeah, I'm not drawing him sitting on the normal human couch. It's already an interesting enough lineup of people as it is. So I also just realized that everybody over here are completely normal human beings, and all of my weirdos are on this side. Like once Xander is also here, Xander, Embry, and Zadkiel are all over here. Like all of the non-humans have been segregated over here, and also Jace, because he's over here. And all of these are completely normal human beings. This is just a collective of completely normal people. Xander will not be scrolling on a mobile phone, but that is the pose that's in there. I've changed a couple of the poses because they needed slight adjustments, but he's bald, and he's torturing people with hair. Yeah, freaks go in the corner. So those are the ones I'm working on. The idea of Xander casually scrolling on a mobile phone is really funny though. But these are all things I'm kind of doodling out. And the thing is, right, I drew Lucas and Black Star for the art fight thing last year, right? I drew them into the collective because they are OCs of mine. And if I wanted to, they would fit just perfectly right there. This would be Black Star and this would be Lucas. But the thing is, I don't put them on the website for art fight because I don't want other people drawing them. They're mine. Those are my OCs. Those are my babies. And like, I don't want fan art of them. And I don't want to see other people reimagining them. And I don't want to see them drawn just in general. Those aren't for anybody else. Those are for me. Those are my OCs. I don't know. I don't know why. I genuinely can't, like, I can't explain it. I don't have like a good way to explain that, like, those aren't just my OCs. Like those are more to me. And you can't touch them. They're not for you to play with. Those are for me. Don't touch them. I don't want you to touch them. Cause like, God forbid somebody draw them in like a mass attack, or they're like, I don't want them on Splash Mountain. I don't touch them. Don't touch my OCs. Those are mine. Anybody else you can draw. I love fan art of literally every other OC I've ever had. I love getting fan art. It is like the coolest thing ever. And also, please don't touch them. Those are for me. They're special. It literally feels wrong for them to be drawn by anybody except for me. I cannot explain why. I wish I had an explanation, but I just don't. They're my babies. I don't want to work on this, but I will. Anyways. Maybe I'll work on Zadkiel. He might be a little bit easier right now. I'm just going to work on coloring him in. None of my Oreos will come apart. I'm sorry, Queen. I'm going to try my best to do art today, because that is what I'm technically here to be doing. Except, like, bending my arm to draw, hurts right now. So I'm, like, trying to, like, find, like, an in-between, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I might have to draw in, like, a less visually appearing, like, way. But if I draw down here, it might be easier. I normally try to draw, like, up a little bit, so I'm not, like, doing this for the entire stream. But I'm trying to find, like, any position in which drawing is, like, comfortable, and this might be the best bet we have today. Okay. Anywho. God, literally everything is not comfortable. There's gotta be a way. Anyways, depending on whether or not I fail at spending today drawing OCs, regardless, I was also gonna chat about OCs, because we like OC chat in this household, right? Right, collective? So, I've been working on Lamb of Gods, which is the novel that I've been working on for forever. It's where Zadkiel's from. It's also where Zazel's from. It's also Myra and Othello, if you know those two, and so on and so forth. And I'm currently reworking through the second draft of Lamb of Gods. And as I was working through a chunk of it, I nearly sent myself into a psychosis because I hate it so much, and working on it makes me want to rip my hair out, and writing in first person when you're writing badly makes me want to throw up, because it's just, my writing is really struggling right now. And sometimes I just go through, you know, phases of that, and you go through phases of not liking your writing or your characters or your story or whatever. Been there, done that, I'll survive, you know what I mean? But the big thing that I've been, oh, this is more comfortable. The big thing I've been struggling with, I'm gonna put that, wait, making adjustments, we're making it work. Is I've not been able to feel like I really have nailed Zadkiel and Zazel's voice. Myra and Othello have such distinct voices. Like, when they speak, like, I know how they talk, I know how they phrase things, I know, like, whatever. but I really feel like I needed more time to like work with Azazel and Zadkiel to actually like understand how they communicate, because I feel like they're really complex, and the more complex a character is and the more human they are, the more I struggle with like, there isn't going to be like one easy like, oh yeah, they talk like this, or they talk like because it'll totally depend on situation and timing and who they're talking to and whatever. And like I really want to make sure I nail communication styles for them. So I was like, I need some time to just like free write them. And what better way to do that than an AU? And of all the AU options I chose something I had started working on years ago, which is a modern AU that I like came up with like a whole idea for them with, and I actually really like it. And I've been playing around with that recently, and it's, ooh my gosh, it's fun. I love the feeling of my hair pinned up. Happy I grew out my hair. I love the feeling. Hi, Zaddy Daddy. He's here. I like your C. Perfect. Zaddy Daddy made me choke. I literally call him Zaddy Daddy. He's great. I like your OCs. Yes. I'm late. Hi, Milo. Did you write my epic AU idea? No, I've not, sadly. I've just specifically been writing the modern AU. Explain AU. Okay, so the modern AU has essentially nothing to do with the actual plot of the book. So I'm comfortable talking about the AU without feeling like I'm revealing anything to you guys, because the only similar thing about the AU is that Azazel is still religious. That is literally the only thing that is consistent with the actual like story to the modern AU. But missing pixel on elbow. Is it that one? No, it's this one. But the in the in the modern AU, well, do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want me to read you the opening to it? Or like the first little piece I've got written? I can explain it to you, or I can read you a little piece of it, or I can do both of those things, but in which order? I can give you a little explanation, or I can see if you can put it together from what I've written so far. Because I don't like spelling things out when I'm writing. I like giving little clues to like let you figure out what's going on, and I'm curious to see if you can actually put together what's going on, which I feel like you can by a certain point. I'm here with a brand new track under my belt and ready to gamble for the rest of the night. What are we gambling on? I mean, we can gamble, but what are we gambling on? God, it is fucking cold in my room. I forgot I need to keep my door open. It becomes unbelievably cold in here if I keep my door closed. Like, unbelievably cold. Yeah, AU, where Azazel's favorite color is actually purple. Oh, I need to fix that line art situation going on here. Oh, is that because of... Yeah, it's this clothing layer. Okay. But yeah, do you want me to just Chatterino's... Oh, hello. Hey, kiddo. So this is not where you're intended to be. Hi. Okay, so my arm hurts today, so you need to be gentle with me. You can stand on my lap, I suppose, but like I need you to just like be understanding of the position I'm in is because my arm hurts. It is good to see you. If you'd like to sleep, there's a whole ramen bowl that's right there instead of my arm. Hi, yep, go on, get, yep, nope, so this isn't gonna work. Hi. Yeah, he's just everywhere right now. It's just, please don't rub on my microphone. He's just here now. I'm thinking about how your art looked when I first started watching you and compared to now. Holy, you've improved so much. Yeah, there's been some minor improvements. I'm trying to think of like when you first were watching, what era that was. Like what era, like what art pieces I was doing back then. Okay, so I need to be able to see. Do not bite my Apple Pencil. Why don't you go in your ramen bowl? There's a great ramen bowl for you right there. If you lay down, I'll even show chat. One bowl of ramen. What do you think? Don't stand directly on my ace bandage. I love you. I do not eat my Apple Pencil, though. Yeah, I don't know what era that was. But anyways, I remember when you made that one bench art with Tommy and yeah, Tommy and Tubbo. Oh my god, yeah. I think the first stream I joined was either you drawing or looking at that one Tubbo drawing. I'm trying to think which drawing. So the bench one, I'm guessing you mean is this one. I'm guessing that's what you mean. That's this one. Which I could also do a lot better than that one. I'm trying to think of the Tubbo drawing. I'm guessing would have been... Okay, so partial success. It has folded under his weight. Hi. So that's not... So you do like to like lean over the edge of things. This is very... Because there's so much room in there that you could be like laid down in. But you want your head resting on the edge. I mean, if this is what you want... all right. There's one bowl of cat. The first drawing, the one drawing of Azazel and Zadkiel when they're sitting down together. Okay, so I'm guessing you're talking this one. Which, this is the first iteration before the redraw, and then this was the redraw. There was this one. Unless you're talking this one, which is the newer one. This is the more recent one. Holly's saying I feel edged. I'm sorry. Yes, I'll talk about the AU in just a sec. I just got distracted suddenly. The Tubbo one, I'm guessing you mean this one. This was one of my biggest Tubbo pieces back when I was in the fandom. Or this one. Those were like the big ones I did. Those were a long time ago. Okay. Ollie said blue balls. All right. Ollie, you decide then. Do you want me to just tell you about the AU, or do you want me to read you a piece? Since I'm accidentally edging you right now. I don't know what people prefer, if you just want to hear about it, or if you want to hear a piece of writing, or if you want to save the writing for later. That's true. You already know about the AU. You're just excited to talk about it. Trying to draw continuous lines, like my brain is capable of that. I'm gonna read you the opening to it, because I've decided I want to do that. Actually, do I even have it accessible here? I remember you drawing those. Yeah, those are a long time ago. Those are old drawings. Okay. Where is the Lamb of God's AU? Okay. I'll be interested if you guys have any opinions on this. So the way that the opening paragraph for this one, I'm actually really excited for this little AU, is pause this. So the opening for the modern AU is, it's 8 degrees outside the night before Christmas Eve when he comes in. Tall, broad-shouldered, younger and more fit than most of our patrons. He carries a camouflage backpack and a heavy weight on his shoulders. You can see it in the way that he moves. He stands just inside the doorway, rubbing together cold hands and looking around. The lost look on his face is my cue to approach. I don't know if that'll tell you exactly what the actual AU is about. I don't know if you'll have any guess of that. But that's how it starts. The next two lines I feel like help give it away. But it says, "Welcome in." I smile as he turns his attention to me, honeyed eyes upturning to match my expression. "Can I help you with something?" "Thank you." His voice is low like the notes of an organ that rattle a building. "I'm just looking for a meal." It's a really crazy modern AU, to be entirely honest with you. Sammy has picked up military. Ah, yes, homels. You're right, Rotten. Homels. This is an amendment somewhere. Hi. Are you enjoying it? Do you like the little bed? I like that you like it. I'm so excited. He's laying in it. So the AU is that Azazel is working for like a modern day church, like a modern covenant style thing. It's just like a modern church. And not covenant, convent, something like that. Whatever. Azazel's working for a modern day church, and Zadkiel is ex-military, and is now this is crazy. Essentially, Zadkiel's a homeless veteran, which is a crazy sentence to say out loud. And shows up at the convent, or shows up at the church, like, "Hey, I'm just looking for a meal," because they serve meals on Sundays, and the kind of agreement at the church is you can stay in the warm building with warm food and whatever, as long as you're willing to seek the word of the Lord. And so there's like this little like conversation they get to have. And the church offers like different layers of like offerings for people to like help themselves. With like the easiest layer just being like, being willing to like receive the word of the Lord, and you can, have dinner, all the way up to like you can stay there like with free lodging and whatever if you get baptized into the church. So it's kind of like an interesting little situation. And I'm having a lot of fun writing it, unironically, which I think is ridiculous. But it is such a weird premise. Homeless vet Zadkiel is crazy. Yeah, it's really weird, and I don't know how I got there forever ago. Like, I got here like well over a year ago. It was because Courtney wanted to know more about my OCs, and like she was asking me questions and I was answering them, but she didn't realize that they were like super fantasies. So, like, she kept asking really modern questions, and I was coming up with just like stupid, crazy answers. And she was like, "What? Like, well, if they were modern, what would they be?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know." So we were just like making jokes, and I was like, "Bro, Zadkiel's military. Like, post high school, where would they both go?" And it says Azazel would go work in a church, and Zadkiel would go off to the military. But like, somehow, it worked in my head, and I was like, "No, I can make this work." So I did. Thomas Church feed people regardless, and they do. It's kind of like a fine line to dance. Like, it's a fine line dance where they're like, yes, you can come in, you can have some food, whatever, but expect that somebody's gonna sit next to you and ask you, are you a believer? Like, you're gonna have to be comfortable having those conversations. And if you don't have to accept their help, you don't have to accept salvation, you don't have to accept baptism, you don't have to whatever. But if you want a free meal, you expect you're going to talk to somebody. And Zadkiel calls him out on it too, which I think is really interesting. I've been having a lot of fun writing this. But there's a line. Where is it? I love this. I'm having so much fun writing this, and maybe I'll release this for you guys to read at some point. But there's a part that says, Azazel says to Zadkiel, "Are you a believer?" He chews slowly, watches me, takes his time before he speaks. In God, yes, but not in this. This? He gestures to the room around him. Churches, mass, pastors and their children luring people in with food in hopes to convert them. Like, it's a little like, oh. I think it's very fun. I love the dynamic between the two of them. So I'm having fun. I'm having fun like screwing around with it, and like them being in like positions that have like nothing to do with the regular story, so they have to have conversations that have nothing to do with the plot. And like how would they hold those kind of conversations? And yet they're still talking about God and shit. But trying to see like where they would like what kind of opinions they would have on this stuff. I don't know. It's been kind of fun to screw around with. And we'll see how it actually ends up, like if I end up what I end up doing with it, but it's just kind of fun to screw around with your characters in a setting that isn't the plot. In a setting that also like isn't serious. Like this isn't like life or death stuff. It's just talking. Like and seeing how they interact with each other and if they're capable of like, you know, being characters outside of just being a plot. Which is a hard thing to do, apparently. That's like one of my major issues, is that when I write OCs, I write very plot-centered OCs, so I have trouble understanding who they are and how they act outside of like their actual story. Like I have trouble imagining them or talking about them in any context that is like outside of just they're in this plot, so this is what happens to them. Like trying to be like, you know, how would they talk if this isn't what was going on is not something I understand super well. Sometimes I forget that he's got the black scleras, and then I draw his eyes like I'm actually gonna like draw them, and then I'm like, oh, that's not correct. I might have to adjust those. I still don't think that's quite right. But I'm just trying to get some flats in. But yeah, Azazel and Zadkiel have been under some development. Zadkiel more so than Azazel, but I've also, I don't know, I've just been really struggling to like nail down Azazel's like character. I don't know what it is or why I'm struggling with him so much, but I feel like he's just, not only do I feel like he's a really complex character, but I feel like he has a lot of things that I think people assume about him that just aren't true. But I'm trying to like kind of work around that to like make it clear that like how he is and how he isn't and why he is that way. Like I feel like from the way I talk about him and the way that I draw him and the way that like I've kind of implied him to be, that like Azazel seems like super shy and like timid. And he's just not. He's just not. Because like number one, he is trained to be a public speaker. Like he is a public figure who is incredibly adept at addressing crowds. But also like especially around his friends, like he's very like he's very friendly and outgoing and bubbly, and like he's not generally like he's not an introverted person. He loves people. But he also like is in a position where he has to love people. Like that is just like how he has to be. So it's kind of a complex like identity. That's like what parts of him are him and what parts of him are like just who he is supposed to be. And I don't know. I think that stuff's interesting, but it's difficult to navigate when you're exploring. Yeah, I don't know. People see Twink and think shy, submissive. They do. But also, like, are people looking at Cain and thinking shy, submissive? Because, like, admittedly, Cain's got a little bit of Twink to him. But if I pull up him, Is your instinct shy, well, maybe. Well, submissive, maybe. But do you really think shy or quiet or timid? This is chaos twink. See, feminine twink. Yeah. I understand seeing this and thinking like, oh, shy, submissive, quiet, timid. Like, and he is some of those things, but like, he's so pretty. I'd see him as timid and submissive. It's not because it's twink. And that's the thing. He definitely, it is so situational. And I think about him a lot in a, how do I say? I think about him a lot in a healthy term because, like, he, situationally, he is put in a lot of positions where he is timid and submissive due to the situation that he is in and due to the position he was forced to be in. But he's like, he seems physically insecure. He is. I wouldn't say he's confident. I would not call him confident. And that does give him, but see, and there's an extra thing. He's not confident, but unless you were his close friends, you wouldn't know that because he doesn't have awkward body language. You have to again think there is the identity that he is, and there is the persona he has to portray. So even though his friends would see him as a little bit of awkward and a little insecure, if you were not Myra, Othello, Zadkiel, like if you were just a person in the town, Azazel looks and holds himself quite confidently because that's how he's required to hold this body. Like him being completely covered in these tattoos. I mean, think about the outfits I draw him in. And this is a really important part of the story. Yes, exactly like Ranboo and Ad Astra. Exactly like Ranboo and Ad Astra. I literally never made that connection, but yes, exactly. Where Ranboo is very long and he's very lanky and he's insecure about his body and he's awkward and he's kind of this imitation of trying to be royalty. And Azazel is the exact same thing. Like, but he's like Ranboo. He can be very convincing about it, but the more you catch him on himself, the more awkward he becomes. But like, think about the things I draw Azazel in, right? Like, don't ignore the fact that I'm drawing Zadkiel mostly naked. These are the clothes I'm drawing Azazel in. This is barely covering anything. This sure isn't doing anything for him. He's naked over here. Like I by on purpose. This is not just because I like drawing his tattoos. This is an intentional way that I am constantly drawing Azazel nearly nude, because that is what he dresses like while he is living in the village, so which is the only place he lives and is also the like that's the whole point. Like while he is, how to say, public facing, because like he has pajamas he can wear like when he's alone, but when he is publicly facing the village, when he is out and about with people, that is how he dresses, not because he thinks it's fun, but because that's what's expected of him. He is expected to show off the tattoos. And that is such an important part of his character, and is something he is constantly conscious of. It is referenced in the writing over and over and over and over again, especially because, and I'm fuck it. I've been writing this book for 3 years. I'm allowed to talk about it. Oh, I just spilt tea. I splashed myself. I'm allowed to talk about him. I'm allowed to reveal secrets and shit about him. He distinctly talks, because what the Azazel that you're seeing on screen is 19, but he distinctly in the book talks about the fact that when he was coming of age, like going through puberty, how vastly uncomfortable he was. Because if you think about it, when he's a little kid, you know, when he's like 5, 6, 7 years old, kids that age run around naked at the beach all the time. It doesn't matter. It's not until you become of age, that you start going through puberty and your body starts developing, that you become really, really conscious of your body and how your body looks different than other people's bodies. It is a really, it's such an important little thing. And he references about how absolutely embarrassed and ashamed he was to walk around at 13, 14 years old, where he is now old enough to understand his body and old enough to be aware of how little clothing he is wearing, and the fact that everybody is looking at him all the time. And he's so uncomfortable with it in those teenage years, because can you like imagine being a fresh teenager, 14 years old, in the middle of going through puberty, and you are expected to walk around all of your peers who get to dress normally in essentially your underwear every day. And like, it's not just because you're like, oh, it's warm. It's not just because you're like, oh, this is my favorite outfit, but it's specifically because people are gonna look at you, and they're supposed to look at you, and you're supposed to wear as little clothing as possible so they can look at you. At 13, and it's not like, not to make it weird, it's not like they're sexualizing him. He's not a sexual being. They're not attracted to him. It's just about the tattoos. He is like a walking painting to just constantly be looked at. And when you are already insecure about your body, and it's weird and awkward, and you're a teenager, I can't imagine a worse thing to do. I'm literally tweaking. I'm actually genuinely tweaking. My fucking Shayla. My Shayla. My baby. Fuck it, I'm spilling more tea. Azazel is also additionally more insecure about his body, because Azazel's body isn't like everybody else's body. I've been keeping secrets for too long, and I'm tired of keeping secrets. This book probably isn't coming out for another 2 years, and all of you will either have forgotten about it by now, or it won't matter. But Azazel's also intersex. News bomb. I don't know if I've said that on stream before. I'm almost 100% certain I've kept that one a secret. Azazel is intersex, and he is physically presentationally intersex as well. So that is an extra thing, because he is often naked around specifically his guards, because that they're part of the process of, you know, worship and getting him ready and like dressing him. They're essentially like family to him. Othello and Myra are essentially his siblings. They're just not blood related. So he has spent a lot of time growing up naked around them, like bathing in rivers and shit, and like, you know, helping him get dressed when he's a kid. Like, there's a lot of pieces to that. So he knows what both of their bodies looks like. He knows what his body is supposed to look like, and that it doesn't. Except it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, because it's part of what makes him special. Like it's a representation of. I do not even think I knew this. How long has this been in the lore? A while. It's not since the very beginning, but a while, because. I don't think you said that yet. I know. I've been keeping this very, very carefully up in wraps. It was supposed to be like a big secret, but it's not like there's a big moment in the lore where I'm like, oh, he's intersex. Like I don't talk about it. Was it before or after that read that one book? Before, actually. But like, one of the things about Azazel is he is the creation, like the sacrifice for the gods. There are not like a huge pantheon of gods. There is two, the god and the goddess. And part of the reason that he is the sacrifice, like the part of the reason that he is created the way that he is the purple eyes identify him, and his body is representative of both the god and goddess. Like, he is intersex because he has representations of both the god and the goddess physically present in his body. So he does not have any, like, he doesn't have any reproductive, like, he could not reproduce if he wanted to. Like, he doesn't have active reproductive organs, like, internally, but he does have at least semi-developed reproductive organs of both sexes externally. It's crazy. But this has been a part of his lore for a long time, and I've just been keeping it a secret, and I just can't anymore because I just want to talk about him because it's so important to me. He's so important to me. And I don't think him being intersex needs to be a secret because, like I said, it's literally not a huge reveal in the story, and the words intersex literally never are written in the book. The only thing he talks about out is how his body doesn't look like others do, and like there's like talking about like the gods and all of that. I don't know. I try to do it in a careful way, but like without being weird about it, and also without being like, I don't know. It was once I decided, Ollie, if you're trying to ask, like, when did I decide it? Whenever I made the decision that it wasn't just, like, a pantheon of gods, that it was the god and the goddess. Like, when I decided that there was the two is when I was like, and he should be physically representative of both. And that's when I was like, that's the decision. That's when I was like that. I don't know. I don't remember when that is because I have no sense of time, but that was the time. Our sacrifices, yes. All of the they're referred to as how did I refer to them? The God touched children. That's how they're referred to in the book. All God touched children are, or God's touched children. I don't know how I'd have to look at the book is exactly how I phrase it. But all God's touched children, or whole. There's a word for it I have that it translates to God touched or something similar to that. But God touched children are the sacrifices, and those are the ones that they are all born with the same physical features of specifically the lilac eyes, like the purple eyes, and they are all intersex. Now, secondary sex characteristics would vary, but primary sex characteristics would stay the same. Hey Quinn, how are you? Okay. Dealing with back pain? I feel you. I'm wrapped up with the elbow today. I feel you. All right. Slowly but surely, Zadkiel's coming together. Drinking tea always makes me hungry. I don't know what it is. There's something about it that just, it makes me hungry. I'm not hungry. I had a huge dinner, but I drank some tea and I was like, man, I could eat. Ugh. I don't know. I was really happy with these drawings previously, but now I'm kind of middling about them. I feel like I could be doing better here. I just don't know what it is. I want to draw, but I'm so EB. But the art, it calls to you, Rotten. No tea for Xander unless it's tea and biscuits. Yeah, I need a biscuit. I need a Biscoff biscuit. Ugh, I would kill for a Biscoff biscuit right now. That is such cool lore. Thank you. I've had so much motivation to draw lately, but none of the required energy. God, yeah. But so does Nap. The Nap also calls. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about the lore for this book, but I'm just, holy crap, it taking like so many years is just starting to wear on me. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's starting to wear on, like, I don't want to be working on this anymore. And I want to be working on it. But, like, trying to hold on to these little secrets that I'm like, I can't wait for them to learn. I can't wait for them to learn. I can't wait for them to learn. Is by the time this book gets produced, like, published, there's going to be so many people in this, like, when I first started writing Lamb of God, so I was like, I can't tell you guys anything or whatever. Like, 90% of that has changed anyways. And also half the people in the community aren't here anymore. So it wouldn't matter. But I have it so in my head that, like, it's got to be a secret. I've got to keep secrets. I can't tell anybody. It's like, it's just not that serious. And I need to get that into my head a little bit, that it's like, I'm allowed to talk about, like, the cool parts of it, because by the time it's out, you won't remember. And if you do remember, fucking brilliant. Like, oh well. So you know, like, little tiny reveals. It just has to be okay, or I'm going to go insane. Like, I'm going to actually lose my my genuine goddamn marbles if I'm not allowed to share some things about this book that I've been working on for actual years. This. Trying to find all the little like pieces of jewelry I tucked away in his hair that I've got to like figure out where it is. I agree, and you can't just have like 2 secret keepers. I know. I know. I know. And I really try to do that. And I honestly tried to even like spread it out so that one person didn't know everything. Because originally I was just abusing Ollie and telling her just her all of the secrets. Because I was like, then it can be a surprise for everyone else and just Ollie can know the secrets. But that's just torturous for one person to have to deal with. So then I was like, okay, I'm like, Ollie's got her set of secrets, and then I'm going to tell Emily a bunch of the secrets, and then she'll hold on to the rest of them so that Ollie will be surprised by some things, but Emily will be surprised by some things. And then slowly it's just evolved, and I can't keep track of who knows what anymore because I'm bad at that anyways, but it's gotten even worse. And like I like give like a little bit to Reese, or I'll give a little bit to Elle, or I'll give a little bit to Emily, or I'll give a little bit to Lexi, or I'll give a little bit to like whoever asks. I'll give like a little snippet here and a little snippet there and a little snippet there. And like, I mean, all I knew was the intersex part. Reese, you are literally the person I came to have a one-on-one conversation about the world building of the entire town. Like stuff that like, no, like that, like did not like, was not spoken about with anybody else. You were my world building go-to. Courtney gets secrets, all of them. Courtney has already published the book. Courtney stole all my ideas and published the book for me because she was sick of waiting for my ass. No, the only thing Courtney got is the modern AU. Courtney got the modern AU before anybody else did because she fucking wrote the modern AU with me. Because I was trying to tell her about the actual book, and then she was asking me about the modern version of it. And you know what else happened? We were in the middle of talking about it, and girlfriend fell asleep on me. Like, she asked me a question, and by the time I was done answering her question, she was asleep. So, shout out Courtney. Love her to death. EPiest girl on this side of the Mississippi, and I love her for it. Courtney published it under a pen name. Zalmost Ander. Yeah. That's how it went down. But I just don't want to spill all of my beans and to everybody. Like I want there to be some surprises when you read the book. And honestly, even for the people who have gotten a bunch of the secrets, like Reese or Emily or Ollie, any of them, actually, there's going to be surprises. Because guess what? Half of the stuff I've talked to you about has changed. Like, half of the like backstory, Zadkiel's entire backstory, all gone. Threw all of that away, completely rewrote it. Honestly, half of the world building I did, like the god stuff, half of that god stuff, all that got scrapped because I ran to a plot hole and I couldn't fix it. So I just ripped it to shreds, ate it like a dog, and turned it into something new. All of the magic stuff, I spent so long with Emily trying to sit and figure out like a magic system that worked. Threw the entire thing out, tossed it all. Like I'm just like that. If I can't get it to work, I just throw it out the window and then I come up with something new. Like over and over and over and over again. I just had a breakthrough recently while writing the modern AU because Ollie was like, bro, write the modern AU. So I was like, okay, let me work on that. And like 3 paragraphs into the modern AU, I had a breakthrough about the actual story. Like I'm not made for writing books, man. I'm not built for this. I had it so well planned out early on, and then it was just littered with plot holes, and I had to throw all of it away because it was just all bad. Alternatively, nearly Xander, yeah. Rip Zadkiel's backstory, genuinely. There was an entire Zadkiel backstory that I'm not going to share yet because parts of it may still come up. But 90% of it has been completely scrapped. Entirely scrapped. I remember a very unreleased version of Zadkiel and Azazel. Yeah. I know virtually nothing about Zadkiel. That's kind of the point. Neither do I now. Yeah, that's also true. And the thing is, when you meet him, you're not supposed to know anything about him. The only thing you really need to know is that Zadkiel is an angel. There are two celestial beings, the god and the goddess, and Zadkiel is an angel. What is he? Who is he? He is an angel. In Lamb of Gods, they are referred to as Yadur, which is a fun little thing. That's new. That's a piece of lore that probably nobody knew. They're called Yadur. It's a term that means, I think it means hand of the god. And Azazel does meet Zadkiel under some sketchy circumstances. But he's really an interesting guy. What little things can I tell you about him without ruining anything? He's quieter than Azazel is. Azazel's pretty good at conversation and talking. Zadkiel is a lot shorter with his conversation. He's very short with his words, but not in like a standoffish way at all. He is just kind of short spoken. Let me see. He is incredibly flirty, and he won't be. He's not like, he's kind of obvious with it, but like not like a like gross way of flirting. Like he's not like, hey little mama, let me whisper in your ear kind of shit at the bar, but he's just always kind of flirting with you, and you kind of have to catch it. He's like, are you flirting with me? Like I feel like there's like you're always second guessing if he's flirting with you, and the answer's always yes. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I forgot I have that one too, but I think I decided against it. I'm really glad I made new Pinterest boards for my OCs because I've been having a lot of fun reimagining them and nailing down their exact vibes, and it's really, really fun. I still don't know anything else about them, but we'll get there. Yes. Same Ollie, same. I want to see yours. Girls, sure. Let me, which ones? Let me see. Wait, Abby, I want to see. Wait, I want to see your new Pinterest boards. I also have a new Pinterest board I really, 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 really want to share with people. Wow, I want to play. Oop, not that. I went to go look for them when you were talking about that, but I couldn't find the ones you spoke of. I have important OCs to make reference for, but the year is calling my name, and I'm afraid I can't resist for long. You keep bringing up this Pinterest board, and I'm not sharing it. What are you not sharing? Did have my report gang? Good job, Breeze. Proud of you. You can have them, but they're not done. I forgot what's in them. Eek. I'm getting it. Hold on, let me search. Yeah, I am patient. I want to share my Pinterest board, and I'm like ready to, but I'm also like not ready to. And literally the only people I'd be willing to share it to right now are like close friends. I would not. This is not like, I'm not gonna make it public and share it with the community. But if the mods wanted to see it, like in theory, they could. But like, it's just a new. I've made a new Kane Pinterest board, but I also like, I want to share it by like, I want to like sit down and like look through it with somebody. Like I want to really like I want to really like dive into it. I want to eat it up. You know what I mean? Because I want to look through it the way that like Ollie sends me her Pinterest boards and I like look through them while she chats with me. It's like I want to do that very badly, and it's still not like 100% done, but it is like done enough that like it could be examined now. And I like and then you can keep watching as I add new things to it because that's the fun part. I'm so self-conscious about the stupid Pinterest board now. Shout out to when XR's Pinterest board was public and I told you instead of snooping. I totally believe that you didn't, but my instinct still tells me that you went and looked through it first and then you were like, oh hey Xander, this is public. You should probably hide this. Like my instinct is like there's no reason for her to have not snooped before telling you. She definitely snooped. I was like, no. I trust my friends, but also my instincts. My instincts are like, you know it all now. Just one of those people. I think the worst of people. And also because I feel like that would be my instinct. I would probably fight it off, but my instinct would be to snoop and then tell them and say like I didn't know anything, but I love surprises with that kind of stuff, so I wouldn't want to snoop. How honorable? Yeah. Does it have new lore? Does what have new lore? The Kane one? Not yet. It's I'm working on it. It does not yet have like any like, if that's the one you're talking about, the Kane one. Not yet. I want to make a separate one specifically for the Kane study, where all the new lore is. But it's kind of just like a newly developed, like I wanted to like lock in his vibes better, and I wanted to break up the sections of his life. Because the last Pinterest board I had for Kane was just like pictures, like little small ones, but I wanted like a big full, kind of like how you do disassembled ones, and like I have Sawyer's, like I have the Sawyer Santiago Reyes board that has like his appearance, and then like child, teen, adult, like adult with Kane, like all of the different parts of it. I wanted one for Kane that had it like sectioned by his age. Luckily, even if I can't find them, what I've gathered from photos, yeah, that's probably true. I don't think you or Emily would look at each other's D&D words because you want to be surprised. Yeah, and that's true. I don't want to know the secrets. Like I specifically do not want to know because I love finding them out, and I hate having to pretend in lore that I don't know something. If I know, I know, I know, I know. Like, I hate having to be like, oh no, what do you mean? Like, it's so hard to, like, clear it out of my head. I can do it, and I've done it before, but... Okay. God damn it, I keep finding little line art that's not where it needs to be. There we go. I'm less spoiler focused. I don't care about spoilers ever, but Zena does, so I was nice. I don't care about being surprised. Yeah, Emily's the complete opposite of me. She does not want the surprise. She wants to know all of it. She wants to know. I love the tension of not knowing. Especially in stuff like D&D. Like, especially in stuff with D&D. I love the tension of not knowing, and literally no feeling can replicate the moment of finding something out live in an event. Like, if I'm like told beforehand of like, hey, like this lore piece is going to happen today, so like just be ready for that. That's super useful for like knowing like okay, I want to plan ahead. Like if it's something that's like really important to my character's development and I know it's going to happen, like getting told like, hey, like you know, there's this really important thing that's going to happen to your character today, like just be ready for this kind of situation. That helps me prepare by being like, okay, how would my character react to something like this? I need to be ready. I need to be prepared. Like I need to have some kind of thought into like, because then like it's important that my character's development goes properly. But there's nothing in the world. Sorry. There's nothing in the world that can replicate the feeling of something happening live in session and having to just pure instinct react to it. Like, that is so much fun and like genuinely brings me so much joy. And it totally depends on the type of character. XR is much less like that than like Feikin. Feikin's entire character was built on pure, honest gut reactions, where something happened and I, as player, had no choice than to just, I have to do this. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that is just so fun. But XR has a lot more, like, plot that I have to think about. So, like, getting to know beforehand of, like, hey, something important to your character is happening this session. Be ready for this type of situation. Like, it brings me, like, oh, damn, like, I wish I would have, like, not known. Like, I don't want the time to prepare. But also, it's important to know how my character would react because, like, it matters to her character. I don't know. It's complicated. But I don't know. I value that feeling. That's so important to me in D&D, is I love the feeling of shock. I struggle with telling and not telling for that reason. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, if I know like in long term, like if I know in long term, like, hey, this type of situation may come up for your character, be like, you know, make sure you think about how your character might react to something like this in the future. Even that still is like, oh damn, well now I know this is gonna happen. Like I hate that feeling. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like at least I know to like be ready to talk about it. But there's something so much more fun of just like, holy crap, this is happening. How am I going to react in the moment? As long as you're given like the space to like, okay, like you have a moment to think and then react. Like, cause it's like, this is happening. Respond right now. That I need a couple of moments to be like, hang on. Let me gather my thoughts. Okay. This is what I'm doing. But if I sprung it on you and you weren't ready, I've had people be upset about their reaction, then hate it later and it's strange. No, that totally makes sense. And there's always going to be some feelings of, God, I wish I had done that better. Yes. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Oh my God, to use your ramen bowl is so good. So good, ramen bowl. Oh my God, I'm so happy for him. Good job. But yeah, there's always gonna be some feeling of like, I wish I'd done this better, you know? I wish I'd reacted faster. I wish I'd reacted slower. I wish I had thought about this a little bit better. I wish I'd responded more confidently. I wish I had like had more time to role play it. But that's part of D&D. Please don't step on my arm that is injured. Like it's like there is always like a balance of like, I wish I had done this better, especially when you are live reacting roleplay in D&D. But like that's part of the experience and part of like the growth in the practice is being able to improv, react to your character on the spot. And like there are definitely things that happened in Feikin's story that I was like, man, I wish I had done this better. And if it was something that like absolutely was detrimental, or that I was like, fuck, I was planning to do this and I forgot to do it in the moment because things happened too quickly, I've been able to bring those up to you before and been like, hey, we left off last session having finished this. Can I like real quick come back in, like let me jump in and be like, hey, I actually mean this. Like, can I add this in? And then you let me. It's also blunt because I want people to react, but there is tension. You are supposed to be stressed. Sometimes I should be snappy and I need to push more. I think my villains never end up being villainy enough. I'm too patient. No, I like your villains. And I like that your villains are patient because it gives us time to respond. Because like there is a balance between like real world villainy and like we are reacting on the spot to something that we could not have planned out. Like we do need a moment to be like, oh shit, okay, not only do I need to react, but I need to react in character. Like I can't just like gut instinct react the way I would, because there's a practice between the difference between like Xander would do this, but XR would do this, Feiakin would do this. He's so fucking cute. Feiakin is a lot easier to act because he's just me. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so cute. I'll literally die. Bowl of Apollo. Oh my god. I'm literally dying. Anyways, sorry. Feiakin was way easier to play because he was just me. Like he was like I was just reacting the way I would react. His beliefs are my beliefs. XR takes a lot more time and patience and practice to react because her beliefs and opinions and thoughts don't match mine. So like there is gonna be a level of like I need a moment to stop and think and center myself as her before I can have a second to react. Like it's a balancing act for sure. Because like that's the only thing that like sometimes I struggle with is like sometimes I need a moment to like gather my thoughts before I'm capable of responding, and I need that moment to be like, okay, okay, got it, let me I got you. Like I need that time to think sometimes. It's a dangerous balancing act. That is something that's so difficult about live roleplay. It is. But there's literally nothing about it that will make you better at it than constant practice. That's sometimes the reason I dislike DMing, because I don't get a second to think. I just have to go. It's my job to be ready. I just have to commit to it, and sometimes I commit to it and people don't react super well, and it's so delicate all the time. It is an absolute constant balancing act for you. And I do not disagree for even a moment that DMing is the hardest part of D&D. Like having to be 100% ready to improv at any given moment for anything, not just one person, but any of these people could possibly think of doing, and be ready to react to all of those different scenarios, and also know that the way that you react will affect the way that other people feel about the entire story sometimes. And that's hard to do. If you say one wrong thing, sometimes people cling to it, and you have to write something wrong into the story because people just heard it the wrong way. There's no backtracking. It's always there, even subconsciously. Yeah. And there is some level of being able to say like, sorry, I misspoke. Like, because you're a DM, but you're also a human. That if you say something and then everybody's like, oh yeah, never mind, like this thing. And you're like, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Like, this is what I meant. If you catch it really early. But if it's something that was said and then people repeat and go over and over and over again and they build on it and they think about it, that like, yeah, now that's part of the story now. Like they're like, you can't back out of it. Yeah, that gets messy. Yeah. That's sure it is a hell of a balancing act. That's for damn sure. And I want to learn how to do this. Why? but it's very similar to, not to bring back up the college days. I used to do college improv, for those of you who do or don't know. I was an improv comedy class back in my college days. And exactly what you're saying right there. You can't ever expect it to go right. The story always changes. You have to go with the flow, and that was rough on the autism at first. Yeah. And that's the thing, is DMing is very much like improv comedy, and it's very much like any other group improvisational improvisational. There you go. Like any group improvisational like event. Like, you can't plan ahead. You can't. You can plan how you want to react to things, but you cannot plan a story, because it's like playing one word story. If any of you have ever played the game One Word Story, where like I say a word and the next person says a word and the next person says a word and the next person says a word, you can't plan a story like that, because even if you plan it, 3 other people are planning their own things in their own head, and it is never going to go the direction you want. That doesn't work. You can't telepathically control how everybody else is thinking about a thing. So you just have to go with it. You just have to move with it. You have to flow through with it and be ready and willing to give up any ideas you previously had to move with the story. And if you're not able to do that, A, you're not meant to be a DM to some degree, and B, you wouldn't be a good role player with a group activity, because bulldozing where everybody else is going, because I have an idea for my character and this is how it's going, and I'm not going to change, and I'm not going to waver, and I'm not going to move, and I'm not going to whatever, regardless of everything and anything that happens around me. This is what I'm doing. Bulldoze through is not only bad for you and your enjoyment, but is bad for literally every other person's enjoyment in the group. And I think we're very lucky that our group is not like that, because I have heard some nightmare stories about people playing D&D with people like that, and it's not possible. The first campaign never once was supposed to have a redeemable Zelly as our bro. It just happened. Yeah, that one just happened. It's hard, but it's worth it. Yeah, there's an episode about my favorite show, Craig. There's an episode about this in my favorite show, Craig of the Creek. I'm drinking tea because I'm sick, but I don't drink tea. It's so strange to make me feel better, though. It really works. There were whole characters and plot lines I wanted to do that just didn't work, and that's okay. Yeah, I'm so glad he's sleeping in his bed. Yeah, and that's just part of it. Like, that's how improv happens. You just kind of have to move with it and accept, like, oh, well, that one's not happening. All right, let's keep going. It's messy, but it really is an adventure. And God, it's worth it at the end. It's so fun. It is so, so, so very fun. Another night. The show mostly centers a bunch of middle schoolers, but there's some 20-somethings, and they play D&D, and the DM gets frustrated because his story gets derailed, but his friends are frustrated because he always overrules what they do. Yeah. And that is part of the balance of a group improvisational game. You just have to be willing to work in both ways. It's all about yes and balance. Because it doesn't mean you can't ever have anything planned in D&D. You can have desires and wants and plans for your characters, as long as you're being flexible with them and understanding of how they might come up and like how it might work. That like, because like you're totally allowed to like have like hello Poison, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Queen. How are you? Hope you're so well. Talking D&D. But it's like one of those things that like, yeah, like, you know, you can have plans and hopes and wants for your OCs, like, or your D&D characters, you know, but just be willing and flexible and patient with it. Hello, Poison.
Ooh!
I forget we have clips that do this thing. They don't always work.
Someone flip that. Someone do a clip real quick. Quickly, do a flip. Somebody.
They did a clip. Man, to have players that show up, I can't imagine. Can't imagine looking at one of you and going, no, you cannot do this even at all for something major. I can't shout out Abby, go, and then Abby says, I go. God damn it. It is so unbelievably cold, but I don't want to wear my sweater. I just need like a blanket, but I don't want to go find one. I am gonna go find one. Hi, Apollo. You sticking your little head out of your ramen bowl? Is it comfy? You are unbelievably cute. It's warm in there. I can feel the warmth. Like, look at that cozy little ramen bowl. Cozy. He's so unbelievably cute. I'd literally die for him. Sorry, I've showed him off like 3 times today, but oh my gosh, he's so freaking cute. He's just a little bowl of ramen, man. I bought him a little ramen bowl, and he's so cute. Yeah, thank you for liking my blanket. Chicken flavored boy. Oh, big stretch. Are you chicken flavored? Are you chicken flavored? He's so freaking cute. Okay, anyways, back to whatever the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, D&D is fun. I don't know. That was what something like that I was saying. God, now I'm hungry. Pfft. Please don't eat my cat. Somewhere along the line that's not right. Like, I think this would be... No, that's something like this. This is gonna be complicated to color, but I don't want to put the effort in, so. Yeah, something like that. I don't care. Who deleted their character completely? What? Question mark. I can't say how long. I have a bit of a headache, but I thought I would raid. D&D wise, I'm going to be DMing second player campaign. It's their first one after a bad DM who deleted their character completely. That's crazy. Anyways, love chatting. Love seeing the art. Have a great rest of the stream. Later, queen. Bowl of spicy beef ramen with a slice of American cheese. Like, the plastic shit? Ick. You'll find this funny. I'm closing the building where ROTC is, so they're like required to put up pictures of the big men, but it's hidden behind a poster. Good lord. I just the world is on fire, and I just can't right now. I can't. I just genuinely can't. I keep trying to like think about everything that's going on and trying to like wanting to like speak up and do more and give my opinion, and I can't. I like genuinely can't do it. Every time I try to think about it for even a moment, I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack. So I'm just trying so hard to stay normal right now and just do what I have to do. I go to work and I get my paycheck, and I'm just trying to survive right now. I'm trying not to explode. Pre-emulsified cheese in a convenient package. Craft singles are cheese adjacent projects. God, I just want to think about my stupid OCs and their stupid lives. There's so much you guys don't know. I have so many secrets, chat. Chat, I'm literally just made of secrets. Chat, you don't even know who Malachi is. Chat, please. Chat, I have so many secrets. Chat, you don't know who Spencer is. Chat, please. Please, you don't know anything. I'm gonna lose my marbles. Everything is a secret. I have so much Kane lore. I'm so full of Kane lore. Who is that? Who are these people? Who the fuck are these people? Why did I think any of those were Lamb of Gods? I was like, fucking Spencer. Sorry, these are Kane people, not Lamb of Gods people. Never heard of any of them. No, nobody has. That's the thing. Literally nobody has. No, nobody knows anything about them. Not a single thing, because I've kept all of it secret. There are tiny things about each of the events that involve them that people might know from me spilling over the sides a little bit, like an overflowing tea kettle. But nobody knows who those people are, what happened, like what they're for. Yeah, Zadkiel and Jared. My beloved OCs. You have heard Malachi's name, specifically in me wailing the fact that nobody knows who Malachi is. I've wailed about this a couple of times. Because I'm just so full. I'm so full, and I want to spill like a tea kettle. I want people to know, but I mustn't. I must behave. I just I'm kind of jealous for anyone who keeps their stories a secret, because I feel like I can't garner a fan base unless I hold information for ransom. I feel like I accidentally killed my hostages. I used to feel that way, and I don't much at all anymore. A lot of it is just, a lot of the reason I'm keeping some secrets, like, is because there are parts of the story that are important that you don't know when you read other parts of the story. That's like most of why I keep certain things secret. Some of it is so I can shock people and like whatever, but most of it is because I think there is a part of the story that is stronger if you don't know these things until later. Like, not because it's like, oh, twist, but like you're supposed to learn it in a specific order because it means the most that way. Which is like kind of hard to explain, but I don't have a good way to like word that other than just like, trust me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Just like, trust me, bro. Source, trust me, bro. I don't know how you do like 80% of what you do. I'd be spilling the beans, yeah. Bro, I don't know how you do this shit. I just be putting words down. The symbolism, paragraph. And the thing is, Reese, I've been really jealous of you recently. Specifically you, and specifically Mariner. Because you straightforward, right? You sit down and you start a story and you work from beginning of story to end of story. And so you can just write on a public document that people can just jump in and read at any point and work through. And I can't do that. I just can't do it, because like I write this section and then I'm writing and then I'm writing and then I realize something over here and then I gotta back up and then I've got to write these things over here and then I come back to it and then I'm writing over here and I'm like, oh fuck, this actually messes up and I gotta go back and erase this and then rewrite this, and then because I rewrote this it actually changes the meaning of this one, so I gotta go back and I gotta fix this one, and then I'm like, okay, let me get back to where I was, and then I'm writing this one and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot I referenced it here, that I was supposed to reference it here first, so now I gotta go back and figure out, like, I can't. Dropping houses on hoes, bitch. You got the wrong bitch. Bitch. I love this song. I'm gonna start inventing plot points just to have secrets. I don't want to have secrets. I want you to know. They live in straight lines. Neither of them smart enough for that. Gotta keep it simple. They're pretty dumb. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm writing like an incredibly complex religious allegory type-esque story, so I can't. I'm melting. I write just completely out of order, but still chapter by chapter. You're a nightmare. I don't know how you do what you do. You're like, oh yeah, I've just been working on chapter 76, and I'm like, have you finished chapter 5? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, whatever. Mackenzie play hockey is sometimes sad, that's all. Yeah, but it's also, that's not all, and they're like well-developed characters, and also they're well-developed in an order in which other people just get to sit and read. Like, you get to talk about Mariner all the time because people have actually read the story and care. And I talk about Kane fucking endlessly, and he has nothing written that anybody has literally ever read about him. I have like 10,000 words of writing done for him, but none of them are the story with him and Sawyer. It's completely different stuff. People have read nothing about him. Not a single thing. But I just am constantly talking about them all the time. I'm losing my marbles. Losing it. Ah! We'll fight for equality. If the wizard wants to me, he's gonna have to take me down. Think we got scab? You got water in your guns, bitch. You got the wrong bitch. Bitch. You got the wrong bitch. Think we won't keep marching with my fist up in the air, bitch. You got the wrong bitch. Bitch. You got the wrong bitch. You got the wrong bitch. But that's bullshit. I'm missing. Kick the button, you shake it. There it is. This is a culture dance. and make an animal sound. This is a culpitual dance. I'm gonna work on those. I don't know. I'm out here juggling with my present and future plots. I want to read it, but this is not allowed. Yeah, I know. I want so bad. Meh. I write in whatever the hell order I please because my story spans like 70 years. I should write a prequel. You should write a prequel to the prequel. Is that a default brush? No, but I could send it to you if you wanted it. It's a brush I bought, but I could send you the file. You please request it on Discord. Like DM me on Discord and I'll send it to you. I can't send you just this. Well, I could send you just this one. This is like a stipple set. So it has like this one that I'm using right now, which is the light one. And then it's got the medium one, which is a little bit heavier. And then the heavy one, which obviously is much heavier. So it's for stippling. And then it's got the monstrous one, which is just like does the most. So you can, in theory, shade with it. And then it's also got like stipple liners. He might actually be dead. Those freckles, or does he sparkle? They are freckles. He's got white freckles. I've had him designed that way for forever. And they're heaviest on like his shoulders, his hips, and his cheeks. But he is full body white freckles. Out into the snow with Reese, my nose is ice. Don't you love that? What should I draw? Rotten, what calls to you? What calls to you today? Rotten, pick one of your OC. If you have any OCs with gauges, take that OC and take just the strangest thing you can think of as a gauge and put it in their ears. Monster can as a gauge, deal. Key ring as a gauge, deal. Your coffee mug, gauge. That's your drawing assignment for the day. Spaghetti-O, a gauge. Why not? The world is your oyster, and the world is also your gauge. I am deaf, no headphones, I'm at work, but I am here for like 5 to 10 minutes. Hi. Chat, tell them I say hi. Genghis Khan. Chat, you are my only form of communication. Xander says, no. Okay. I was gonna say something mean, but I didn't. Thanks. This is a little unrelated, but you want to hop on a call after stream and talk about the magic system working? I'm actively vibing while thinking about it. I need to hear someone else's thoughts on it. I have work in the morning, unfortunately, so I need to be asleep within the next hour. But if you catch me on a night where I'm either not streaming and or not like actively going to work in the next morning, I totally can. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I totally would. I didn't you weren't you throwing in info dumps earlier? I can totally read over that at some point too. I'm busy until next Friday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm awful on weeknights. I genuinely I passed out, bro. I passed out in the most insane sleeping position last night. So I was not planning to go to sleep when I went to bed. I was just like, oh, my cat's laying down. Isn't he so cute? Let me like lay down with him really quickly. And this is the position I ended up in. If I can just borrow a pen here. Okay. This is my bed, right? This is my headboard, where like my water bottle is. Pillow, many stuffed animals, ignore them. My cat was curled up right here, right? Kitty cat, okay? And I was like, oh, he's so cute. I want to lay down by him. So I lay down by him. And my bed is not this size, but I like laid down like here. This is my head, like this. And that's except the position I actually fell asleep in. I was like here. And I was like arm, body, leg. This is the position I fell asleep in last night. I was on top of like the blankets, like here. On top of the blanket, feet on my headboard, like a fucking lunatic. Yeah, sorry, pillow over my head. Like leg up on my headboard, pillow over my head, completely in the wrong place. Passed out like that. Woke up at like 1 a.m, like sweating and so thirsty and so confused of just like, what, where am I? What the cat was gone. My door was open. My fan was not, like, I have a religious nighttime ritual. My door gets closed because otherwise my cat makes a nightmare all the time. My fan goes on and facing the opposite direction of me. I brush my teeth. I put on my chapstick. I put on my lotion. Like I get my bed ready in a very specific way. Like I have a routine and I cannot fall asleep if I don't do the entire thing. Just passed out in the most insane. It was so weird. It's just, it was really something. I guess, and I wonder why my elbow hurts today. Okay. I need to get these. There we go. Get my boy some lips. And then I want more saturation. That's better. It looks like he's got no top lip in that one because of the angle of his face. Sorry, brother. Stole your lip. There we go. My car struggled to turn over. Fear. Good lord. My brother and I shared a bed for a little bit when I was younger. One time I woke up and his feet were on the pillow and his head were exactly where his feet should have been. And I have N equals absolutely no idea how he managed to complete a perfect 180 without wildly disturbing his blankets. Or breathing. How was he breathing down there? Like, he was perfectly fine, but how? I have no C's with gauges. I want to draw, so I'm drawing you. Bro, fuck yeah. Draw me with just anything you could think of as my gauges. What can you possibly throw in there? A D20, that's your gauge now. A fucking rubber duck, that's your gauge. My entire ring light, my gauge. Cannon monster, a gauge. I think I've said that one. Be prepared. I'm always prepared. I will say that's like one of the best recommendations people give is like if you really cannot fall asleep is just put your head where your feet are supposed to be and your feet on your pillow and just go to bed. And sometimes it works because it just shakes your brain up a little bit. Or if like you can't sleep after a nightmare, sometimes it really helps. I have only done it under the most absolutely desperate of measures because I hate disturbing my sleeping routine. But you know what doesn't affect my sleeping routine? Sleepovers. Like if I'm sleeping over at somebody's house, my sleep routine goes out the wall. The only thing I have to have consistent is I have to have noise. Like that is genuinely it. Everything else is completely up to whatever. If I'm at a sleepover, it's like survival of the fittest. I can sleep with no blankets, no pillows. Like as long as I can't sleep on the floor anymore because otherwise I will wake up in just like actually agonizing pain because of my hips. Like I cannot sleep on the floor anymore. I used to be able to. Couches I can manage, beds I obviously can manage. I can sleep like completely pinned up against another person, doesn't bother me. I can sleep like hanging off of one side of the bed, doesn't bother me. Me and Courtney share a twin size bed during Pride, so we are pressed up against each other and I'm hanging off the bed and oh well. Sleep well. Like totally fine. I can sleep under the most dire of circumstances at a sleepover, but in my own house, like specifically in my bed. Turn on a box fan. Throw a box fan on. I can sleep under any conditions. That's impressive as heck. I've just learned to adapt. I remember one of my first girlfriends as an adult, like not like teenage years. My first girlfriend as an adult. Hey Casper, good to have you. I was, what was her name? Or their name? Theo, I think. When I was dating them, I don't think it was they them, but I think it is now. Is that when I went over to their house, I went over for a sleepover because they lived about 2 hours away. So I was like, if I come over for the day, I'd love to sleep at your house and then I'll go home in the morning or like in the afternoon. They're like, yeah, that's totally fine. But they lived with their parents still. They only had their childhood bed. It was a twin size bed and it was full of stuffed animals. And they're like, oh, I can clear this off or whatever, but like, I really don't want to. And I was like, it's totally fine. Like we will totally make it work. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, I hope you don't mind like sleeping close together. And I was like, literally don't mind at all. Like it's no problem. Well, they took up most of the bed. I had like that much to me. So I really was half on the bed with one leg and one hand hanging off of the bed. The leg hanging off the bed was trying to support me so that I didn't fall off of the bed. Because I was constantly like, I was about to fall off the bed. And I can't say I really slept, but I spent the night in that position and I closed my eyes and pretended I was sleeping. And I'm sure at certain points I fell asleep and then woke back up. It was one of the longest nights of my life. I was just there. And she woke up and she's like, I'm going to make us some spinach smoothies. And I'm like, okay, thanks, hon. That relationship did not last. Not for that reason, actually. There were a couple of reasons that relationship didn't work, but one of the number ones was they did not receive my pebbling, and I won't be in a relationship that doesn't receive pebbling. I felt so bad about it. I'm like really big on that. We were on a walk and there were snail shells like on the pavement. I picked up a snail shell and tried to hand it to them, and they were like, ew, that's gross, put that down. And then I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Like in my heart, I was like, well, this just isn't gonna work. Yeah, no, valid. Yeah. Listen, man, I have very few but very specific like turn-offs. I've had that with most of my failed relationships. I had one of the boyfriends I had, I went into a river and grabbed him a shell and handed it to him, and he threw it back in the river. I was devastated. I like was down in the river, like walking around, and he's like, will you get out of there? And I was like, but look, I got you a shell. And he threw it back in the river. I was like, this isn't gonna happen. On that note, I'm gonna go sleep in my normal sleeping position now. Have fun. Try experimenting tonight. I would cry, rude, I'd kill myself. No, legitimately, I was so incredibly upset. And the thing is, and he was a bad boyfriend, admittedly, but he was so mad at me for pouting for the rest of the walk because I wouldn't hold his hand because I was mad at him for throwing the shell back in. And he's like, God, you're so childish. And I was like, literally ready to cry. That was an unhealthy relationship. Reminds me of a story I read of how a girl saw Tiny deodorant, was like, look how tiny, and the guy was like, we don't need that, and she was crushed. Yeah, men just don't understand fucking whimsy. And it's not even just men. I've been with men and women and non-binary people who don't understand whimsy. But that is like my number one line. If you don't understand whimsy, like if you cannot participate in whimsy with me, we will not work as a couple. It's a handful of, it is the handful of moss thing. It is there's like a billion like names that TikTok have come up with it for like tests and theories or whatever. And it's like, childish is what they say when they don't respect you. Dead ass. I'm not childish. You're just lacking in whimsy. Freak. Okay. The nice green man. I have to read the entirety of A Midsummer's Night Dream this weekend and take a test on it on Tuesday. That's crazy. What a crazy assignment. I'll read it with you in solidarity. We'll read it live on stream. This weekend we're having a special reading of Midsummer Night Dream. Is it just me or is that, no, that feels unreasonable. That feels like an unreasonable amount of time to do this task. It's an 87-page PDF. Good lord. All right, chat. 9 hours stream this weekend where I read you the entirety of A Midsummer's Night Dream. Send me that PDF. Let's get started right now. We got to get a head start on it. I don't have to read it. I have to understand it. I have to memorize it. You have to take a test on it. That sounds like a SparksNote event to me. Class started this week, by the way. Yeah, was it today or yesterday was your first day? I have a test tomorrow? Good lord. Everybody's so quick to just get back into like tests immediately. Everything is so quick. They're like, hey, welcome back to your second day of class. We're going to have a 7-page test. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We just got here, y'all. Chill. This is why college sounds like a nightmare. I hate my life. I will say college is both harder and easier than high school in very, very, very different ways, personally. Because I have had many professors who don't care nearly as much as any of my high school teachers. I had so many high school teachers that were like, I expect this from you and this from you and this from you, because when you get to college, your professors aren't going to put up with this shit. Your professors are going to expect this type of shit. And I've had so many professors that are like, yeah, I'm not coming to class because my dog doesn't feel good. Just do whatever and we'll see you on Monday. Like, I've had college professors who just don't give a shit. And then I've had college professors who are like, if you miss 2 classes, I'm failing you from this class and you will not be allowed to graduate. And it's like, what? It truly is such a toss-up based off of your teacher. A roulette game of hell. Yeah, that's exactly that. But that's why there's stuff like rate your professor, where you can go on and see what type of professor they are. Mine's on deep tissue massage. I started massage therapy at school a few months ago. That's so cool. I hate my life. I thought I was your life. You're my Midsummer Night's Dream. Good luck. All right, guys, get a room. I love this song. My professor last semester literally pushed back the due date for a paper because his dog didn't feel well. Literally, college is just, it's just anything. The gang is pestering me to game with them. Have fun, mate. He's dreaming. I don't know if you can see. Oh. He was like just kicking and twitching. Oh, you having a dream, little guy. He was like just twitching. Like, he was just like kicking his little feetsies like he was running. I need to get a cat camera. Like, I desperately need to just get a cat cam. He's so freaking cute. He's trying to swim through the soup. I love when sometimes I'm trying to like see something about a thing and I just like zoom out like this and it's like, what is this gonna do for me? How is this helpful? How is this help me understand this? Okay. Something I've learned in my art that I wish I had learned to implement earlier on in my life was to stop. I have such a habit of like, oh yeah, this is like my lightest color, and then just add levels of shadows. I should, when I paint your midtones and then add in both directions, obviously, but like, and I know that, but I would just layer shadows and shadows and shadows instead of like assuming this is my midtone and then adding shadows and also highlights. Crazy. It's almost like there's like a method to painting. Hey, baby. Just played Parallel Park on Snowbank. She ain't moving for a while. Yeah, that's locked in. You're going to hate this. I'm not done, but it's not nice. Uh-oh. Am I being insulted? Hi. Oh, good morning. You enjoying your soup? I'm so glad he has somewhere that he can sleep that's close to me now. Oh, big stretch. Hi. Hi, what's up? Hi, did you need something? That's a really big stretch. Hi. I'm still right here. I'm not far. I'm right here. Good boy. Okay, do you have to stay? Ow! Directly on the arm that hurts. I need you to stand anywhere else, buddy. Nope, 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 nope. Lap is fine. That arm is not fine. Okay. I do still need to work on my drawing though, so if you're gonna sit here, you just gotta chill. I need you to be chill. Can you be chill? Are you capable of that? Okay, so this isn't... Oh, hi, Missy. I'm surrounded by cats right now. Ouch, Apollo. Do not fight her. Guys, both of you, please behave. I'm overwhelmed with cats right now. I need my characters to be in a running away coming of age movie together. Bro, Genesis and Brianna are pretty close to that. Not quite, but pretty close. They're a coming of age movie together, but they're not running away, but I would love that. It's the cats you can't shoot you should be worried about. Yeah, I also need that. We should all write coming of age running away together AUs. Collectively. All of us should. Wouldn't that be hot? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be haha silly? Wouldn't that be quirky? We can all do it together. Does Mariner count? No, you gotta do a running away together AU. They gotta be coming of age. They gotta be like teens. And they gotta be running away. When you think about it, Sam and Ginny are coming of age running away together story. You know? You know? Yeah? French's Mackenzie. Perfect. Literally nothing about using the bitterness to change. Val would just be happier. Are they a coming of age running away movie? I mean, like, if they are, like, there you go. They run away together, don't they? Yeah. Gotta break stupid rules, make a bunch of mistakes, and also kiss on top of a beat-up old car. No, forget the car. You have to kiss on the top of a moving train. That's where it's really at. Fun fact, that is actually canon event in Kane and Sawyer's story. It's in their Pinterest board. Kane and Sawyer do kiss on top of a moving train. I will not give you context for that. It just happens, believe me. What is happening over there? Hi. You heading back for your noodles? All right, good boy. You just needed some unnoodled time. What kind of coming of age did you do, Xander? What? Huh? Huh? This is a story that Milan and Noel want to have, but they don't. Moving train? Yeah. Like train hopping? Why is that in a coming of age story? It's in a running away together story. That's huge for runaway stories. Train hopping is like the most fun part about running away. Reese stood. I can't claim to have trained hop myself. I have several friends who have trained hopped. But I have not gotten a chance to, unfortunately, because when I wanted to run away, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to hop a train. I was a little young in my runaway era. But when I used to run away, I used to spend the night on the track. Well, not the night, but the day on the tracks. I would end up staying the night at my friend's house, but the train tracks were like where we lived. I had an entire base set up across the tracks. And like, that's how, like, as teenagers, we would get around, is if you could find the train tracks anywhere in town, you could take them anywhere. I knew from my house to my friend's house to the tracks. And then once you were on the tracks, if you took them like a mile the right way, like there was specifically like you would stop there. And there was a apartment complex you could get off on, that if you get off from the train tracks, you could get into this like gated off little area that you could get onto the apartment complex's park, like playground. So that's where we would play. And then just a little bit further down the tracks, if you got off before the intersection, you were at the Dollar Tree and the Little Caesars Pizza. And Little Caesars had $5 pizzas. So you could get Monsters from the Dollar Tree and pizza, $5 pizza from Little Caesars. And if you caught them at the right time at the, like when they were closing, they'd be giving away pizzas at the end of the night because we're a bunch of fucking, it's a small town, we're a bunch of broke like teenagers. So you could get free pizzas from Little Caesars and Monsters from the dollar store and then take them back across the tracks down the street until like you got back to the playground. We'd sit on the playground and eat, throw the food away there, and then walk home. Like, that's the whole thing. Please, people, big moving machine, death machines. Yeah, so, I don't care if it's true, if it's so dangerous. Yeah, well, walking the train tracks may be one of the dangerous things I did as teenagers, but it definitely wasn't the most dangerous of us. I don't even personally know anybody that died on the train tracks. I know people have died on the tracks in the city I grew up in, but I don't personally know anybody that's died on the tracks. Like, I know it can happen, but that's like part of coming of age is that there's danger to it. The much more dangerous is the shit that people did in each other's basements and or jumping off the cliffs in Lake Michigan. Like, I do know somebody personally who died off the cliffs of Lake Michigan. Like, coming of age is all about danger, baby. It's a trope. You wouldn't believe how stupid my OCs are, Reese. Yeah, that's part of being a teenager is being stupid. I have to agree with Reese here because what? Yeah. I never did anything risky at all in high school, so every time I hear stories, I'm like, people actually did that, yeah. And the thing is, I was one of the well-behaved ones. I was far from the worst. Like, I was far from the most dangerous of us, but... I guess the trains going through your towns are probably slow as fuck. I mean, they're regular trains. Like, they're not, like, bullet trains, but they're, like, full-size cargo trains. Used to high-speed trains coming from Philly, bro. But also, like, regardless of the speed of the train, you can hear them coming. You have to remember where I live. It is, like, if you were standing on the tracks, you can see, like, miles down the tracks. And trains are loud. So, like, there was very little chance that you got caught off guard by a train unless you had your fucking headphones on, but none of us were stupid enough to walk the tracks with our fucking headphones on. Like, they are so loud. You would know far before you got hit by a train that a train was coming. Even if you can't see down the tracks though, I don't know. It's also hard to explain to somebody who hasn't walked the tracks that, like, you cannot be caught off guard next to a track or, like, on a track. You cannot get caught off guard on a track. You can get caught if you're on a bridge. You can get caught. Like, so like if you're like, oh shit, like I can hear the train coming, but I cannot run fast enough in either direction down the bridge to avoid the train, in which case you have to go off the bridge. That happens, like, because by the time you can see the train, you only have so far until, like, it's there. But for most of the tracks that we're on, they're not bridged or highway tracks, they're ground tracks. So if you could, like, oh shit, I can hear the train coming, it takes about 3 steps to get off of the track, which you can do in 15 seconds. Versus if you're on a bridge, yeah, if you're like, oh shit, I can hear the train coming, I cannot run fast enough in either direction to get off the bridge, then you have to go over the side of the bridge. That's different. I have a relative that passed out on the track. Yes, getting drunk and going on the tracks is also dangerous. Wearing your headphones on the track is also dangerous. The more dangerous thing, now this is going to start sounding really crazy. I've never ever felt in danger to the trains walking the tracks. You know what I have felt in danger of those is the people who used to hide in the woods because the tracks don't go through populated areas. They're just the middle of the fucking woods. And there used to be gangs that would hide out. They weren't really gangs because it was too small of a town for that. They were bad people with guns who would hide by the tracks knowing that people walked them. And I was with Brittany, my best friend, growing up as a kid. Oh my God, this is like a fucking repressed memory. Me and Brittany were walking the tracks, and we remember somebody coming out, and there, I mean, as soon as we realized there were people, we started running, so I never got a good look at them. I think there were 3 or 4 of them. Brittany claims they had a gun. She cried to her mom for like an hour that she was certain they had a gun. I didn't stop to look, to be entirely honest, and I was a teenager, so I didn't stop to help her either. Like, it was just they're here, run as fast as you can. And I just remember running down the train tracks for like so far. The furthest I've ever run without stopping to get back to Brittany's house. Like that was, I don't know. That was like the scariest of it. It was the people that were much more scary than the trains. But I've always loved trains. I think they're awesome. I used to sit like a couple feet from the tracks to watch the trains go by because I fucking love trains. Most of the tracks near me are raised on bridges with hills dropped off to the side, so just hanging on train tracks is not an option or connected to life. Yeah, it's very different where I was. I have a bunch of people, my uncle. I also told a bunch of people my uncle had a gun once. I was lying. I was trying to express how scared I was of him. Yeah. And I don't know if she was telling the truth or not, because there totally were people with guns in that area, but I also, like, I don't know. Also, Reese, I don't think you were crazy for being baffled or being, like, reacting, like, strongly because of, like, the trains or whatever. Because I'd like to clarify 2 things. One is that we were stupid teenagers and we did stupid, dangerous things. And 2, that I'm aware of how dangerous trains are, but also it was definitely not the most dangerous thing we did as kids. Like, is it smart to hang out on train tracks? No. Did we do it? Yes. Did any of us get hurt? No. Do people die from doing that? Yes. Like, it's like one of those things that's like, you're not baffled at all, but it also, like, that in my world, that was a very normal coming of age or running away feeling. It's not that it's not dangerous, it's just that we all did it anyways. It's an understanding of, like, yes, that is very dangerous, and also that was what coming of age looked like for a lot of us. Very dangerous, but also a thing, yeah. I don't think it's a good idea. It's just a staple for teenage delinquent stories. Yeah, and unfortunately, I was kind of I was an incredibly well-behaved 4.0 teenage delinquent. Do you know what I mean? I did all the dangerous shit, but I never got in any trouble for any of it. And also, I was good at school. I just hung out with all the delinquents, unfortunately. I sure as fuck didn't do it. It's just in the stories. I'm a loser. I don't go near trains. Yeah, I also like to, like, preface that, like, I did not have a normal upbringing. And that is, I don't say that as a way to brag. It's a way to explain why I have different reactions to things than some people do. Is that, like, I'm like, yeah, this is, like, a very normal part of my childhood. And it takes everybody else being like, no, that's not normal, for me to be like, got it, understood. Like, that's, like, one of those, like, I understand that I did not grow up under normal circumstances. So it's a little weird. I don't even like being the first car to stop for train tracks when there's a train coming. That's totally valid. I'm scared to walk up my own street in the dark in a pretty safe neighborhood. Bro, so we used to do this thing. I'm really gonna start talking about some crazy shit. So oh my god. I won't say who, I had some friends growing up that we used to do. Now I'll say it. So you guys know who Rumi is. Growing up, me and Rumi used to do what we called shadow hunting. That was something we used to do. Which is it was a stupid whatever. But essentially we would just go out in the middle of the night and just walk the streets. And I did come from a small town, but the small town had a decent population of there wasn't a big homeless population, but it's not a particularly safe town. There is crime and there are drugs and there are a lot of bars. Like a lot. So we would go out walking in the middle of the night and just run into, like, crazy shit, and, like, we would get caught walking out at night by people who obviously weren't safe, and then we would just run and, like, dodge down streets and dodge down alleyways and hide in bushes and shit until, like, they couldn't see us anymore, and then we'd go out again. And that was just like one of the people. I used to do it with a couple of my boyfriends back in high school. We'd go out skateboarding, like down, like I remember like skateboarding down the middle of the road, like just because there was no cars because it's 2 a.m. and we'd just skateboard around the neighborhood or whatever. And then we'd stop. We'd just like stop and like sit on like the side of the road or whatever to like chat if we got tired. And I remember, I remember getting the fucking cops called on us. We got the cops called on us because we were sitting in some fucking woman's yard. Not even on the yard. We were sitting on the porch. Not the porch. What do you call it? The curb. That's the word. We were sitting on the curb, like, of this woman's house. Like, not disturbing her. I wasn't even on her property, just on the curb in front of her property. And she deemed that reason enough to call the cops on us. So a fucking police cruiser pulls up. And it's like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing? It's like 2 a.m. What the hell are you guys doing out here? And it was like, we were skateboarding and we got tired, so we sat down. They're like, this is somebody's house. And it's like, yeah, well, yeah, but like, we're not on her property. Like, we're on the curb. He's like, will you please just go somewhere else? And we're like, fucking, okay, whatever. And like, got up and left. But I didn't even have a skateboard back then. I had a penny board. I do not know how to technically skateboard. I knew how to penny board back in the day, but it's been years since I've been able to. I do own a skateboard now. When the summer comes around, I'll finally get to actually ride that thing around a little bit. But I didn't mind cornfields. Bro, no, the cornfields are the one place that actually freak me the fuck out. Cornfields at night are no fucking joke. Those things are scary as hell. I don't fuck with cornfields, bro. And I wouldn't do that shit alone. I was a big weenie if I was alone, but with friends, I would do pretty much anything. But like, there's nothing more nostalgic for me than like walking the middle of like a suburban street in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know, just like the only, like, it's just street lights and like everything is dead fucking silent. What's a penny board? Like a teeny tiny skateboard. They're like this big. They're like itty bitty little skateboards. You can look them up. Penny boards are just like teeny tiny skateboards. Like the opposite of a longboard. They're awful for cruising. They're bad for tricks. They're just very easy to balance and control on. But if you hit like even a little pebble, you're flying off of it. It's really stupid. They're completely useless. Best was on the way to school in the morning in a valley when the fog is so thick you can't see in front of you with corn looming. Yeah, fuck corn. Ironically, I'm from the corn state. I've never walked in a cornfield. I'm not a rural gal. Yeah, you're more built for the city, which is like not an insult even a little bit. I'm not built for the city, but I am sure as fuck not built for the cornfields. Those things scare me the fuck out. No. I love me a little rural place, but I will not be fucking with the cornfields. I don't tempt the gods like that. I value my life, unfortunately. Please keep me in suburbia. I love at least some civilization. I've had conversations with corn. Good listener. I'm losing her. Reese is falling from my grasp. Have you ever had a rough time? You just talk to the corn. It's therapeutic. Corn is friend. No. What does this even mean? You could talk to a therapist. I was like 15. I don't know what to tell you. You're getting lost in the corn. I talked to corn. I did not talk to the corn. I'm not telling the corn my secrets because I don't need it using it against me. I don't trust the corn to keep my secrets. I was not a corn talker. I have told secrets to cows, though. That says a little bit something about the different types of rule-ish we grew up under. I trust the cows, but not the corn. Know what you said to me. Oh my god, my elbow. The corn can smell your fear. It's why it's not friendly to you. Yeah, I'm not interested in being friends with the corn, unfortunately. But thank you for the invite. I'm gonna politely decline for the sake of my life. For my own personal safety, me and the corn will not be making amends. I have an OC who lurks in the corn with his murder boyfriend. Yeah, that checks. But Reese, I'm glad the corn was there for you in the times when you needed the corn the most. The entity of corn. It's important to have corn there for you. I should probably I want it to have it so that they are darker in the shadows. Color dark. No. Almost that, but not quite. Nope. Hmm. I'll have to figure a way out to do that. I'll figure a way out. I don't know. Xander, your gauges are drawn in a mini for. Oh god. I'm on my way. What? So sometimes, Rotten, we have abilities that we're not supposed to use. This is Ah, of course, it's on streamer mode. Well, that's my profile picture now. I love how cute this one is, let alone this one. This one is so cute. This one's adorable. Who hurt this one? What happened to him over there? What'd you do to him? What? This one's hanging on for dear life. What'd you do to him? Why is he distressed? Look at him. He's full of so much joy. It's like a headband. It's like a headband to hold my hair back. The longer I look at this one, the more I like him. This might be the best drawing. Oh, great. Reese has also taken it as her profile picture. It is also my profile picture now. As you can tell, it is also my profile picture. Reese is the tiny one in the ear of my ear. My ear's ear. My gauge's gauge. Reese is my gauge's gauge. When I said, whatever you can shove in my ears, I never could have anticipated this. And that's why you're the artist. Like, you... like, oh, I'm mad at you, I'm gonna draw you pregnant. I'm drawing you as your own gauges. I want every one of your art fight attacks to be this year. This is magical. Please do not draw the gauges pregnant. I do not consent to being drawn pregnant. I have few limits, and that's one of them. I have incredibly few limits. I do not want to be drawn pregnant. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure everybody else would love it. I would not like that. Everybody who says you should draw me pregnant, draw them pregnant instead. Reese is getting it. Emily's getting it. Oh, Reese is about the art fight. Okay, Emily suggested it. Emily's getting drawn pregnant now. You volunteer somebody else to get drawn pregnant, you're getting drawn pregnant. Do not fucking draw me pregnant, then do not suggest the same for me. I would love if Rotten's entire... That's my worst fear. Yeah, I also feel very similarly. Anyways, you're looking pretty, yeah. Isn't he pretty? He's so pretty. But what was I saying? I was saying, yeah, if Rotten like committed to like everybody that he drew for Art Fight, every single one of Rotten's attacks was picking a character with a gauge and drawing that character wearing themselves as their gauges, like that would be such a committed Art Fight profile. Like that would really be magical. I said the gauges, I meant like the gauges were me. I could not commit to that. That would truly be an adventure. It would be an incredibly intense undertaking. Some people do like pick like things like that though. Like they're like, yeah, I'm only gonna draw characters with like this thing. Like this specific thing. I'm just trying to get like a little bit of color everywhere for him. Okay. I think that's good for that one. I'll probably play around with the colors too at some point because I've really been enjoying like just like tossing color just fucking anywhere in a drawing. It's there's something about it that brings me a lot of joy. Just throwing color places and just being like, yeah, that goes there. I'll probably screw with it more. Last year someone was only drawing characters as Labubu and they got me. I did not enjoy. I say I revenge everything. I would not revenge that. Yeah. There's really controversy. Everett. Oh, is it midnight? Oh fuck, it's midnight. My tree just turned off. That's my sign. I need to go to bed. There were a couple Art Fighter attacks last year, Art Fighter accounts last year that were doing like just like drawing people as bread or just drawing people as like ice cream. And there's a level to it. Because at a certain point, if you're just drawing, like if you're getting to do hundreds and hundreds of drawings for your team, but the only thing you're doing is like quick 3-minute, like I'm drawing them as ice cream, and that is not even slightly recognizable as the character, that one's not fair. The bread we're doing like full like designed drawings of the characters, but shading them like they were a loaf of bread, where the character was entirely recognizable, that's a different story. I think both of them have like arguments to both sides that like could be argued that like that is or is not the spirit of Art Fight. The bread one seemed cute. I wouldn't be thrilled to get a bread one, but I wouldn't be against it, and I would totally revenge it. I didn't want an ice cream one because it's clear you spent no time on it and you're just point farming, and that's like, I don't know. If it's not recognizable, then why? I'm so baffled by the Labubu thing. So literally, it's like, who is this? Yeah. If it's not recognizable as the character, you can report it as like that's against the rules. But anyways, this is about as far as I'm getting on Zaddy Daddy today, because it is midnight, unfortunately, which is my bedtime. So this is my boy. At the very least, I got through all of his flats, and I've started the shading. The shading process is going to take a little bit of time, but Zaddy Daddy is under process. I'd say it's a little bit of improvement from this like dead ass thing over to like this. This feels a lot more like him than this does. Like there's been a little bit of development in the past year. Same thing with like Azazel's like boring ass thing over to like this. Like we've had some minor developments. Myra and Othello are still on the roster. They are also getting full redraw pages. Brianna is also getting a full redraw page. She has not gotten hers yet. Obviously Genesis's is done. Kane's is done. Sawyer's is done. So lots of good progress. And then eventually this will be up too. Because this feels so much more like them. I also I didn't mean to put Sawyer and Genesis next to each other, but he's so much taller than she is. They're so cute. Like Sawyer and Genesis are just the height difference is just there. So Alex said, also look at my creature. Look at my creature. Embry, new upgraded design Embry. My beloved. My little creature. These little feetsies. He's my man. I love them so much. So, I just need to give Jace hair because he's bald, and I need to draw Xander as a person, and then I need to decide if I'm doing Blackstar and Linguist. I don't think I am. Oh, whatever. I love Zadkiel and just nothing. This dude walks around in no clothes. Azazel and Zadkiel here, essentially naked. Everybody else is fully dressed. And these two over here, like, yeah, no, this is appropriate. Both of these fuckers don't be wearing any goddamn clothes. Everyone else is fully dressed. Jace has a jacket on. Like, I need y'all to put some clothes on, please. And yet they're just like this. Yeah, also their size differences. It's so weird seeing everybody next to each other. Like waist. There's a difference here. There's a difference. And this is where I'm having fun drawing them now, where they look different. Because if you look at him here, yes, there is some difference, but they're just, the difference isn't clear. Like, it's like, yeah, they're drawn a little bit differently, but I drew every body like almost identical with like slight differences. Versus like having them sit next to each other and seeing the differences, not only in like the shapes of their bodies, but the way that they sit. Azazel like sitting really up straight like this, and Zadkiel kind of like lounged over. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's how you know you're getting it, when you can look at the body and see who the character is. Exactly! I have a lot of work to do on them still, because there are several things that are still not right. Actually, everybody's faces on this side are going to do some major tweaking because I've not done quite a few of them correctly. Othello and Jace in particular need some serious reworking. But everybody over here has gone through a pretty good amount of work still. As you can tell, I've kind of been like slowly working my way across. But yeah. Anyways, this has been really fun. One more quick look at that soup, man. That is some good fucking soup. I'm so glad he likes it. I might get a second camera so I can have a cat cam. If you're on the spectrum, do you ever have moments where you're like, God, I looked so autistic? Yeah, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. Yes, and I don't mind it. I am on the spectrum, and yes, I've had moments where I'm like, ooh, wow, my spectrum is there. You can practically see the autism oozing off. Hello? What did my hair... My lion's mane is getting... It's starting to get weird. Look at that spike. But this side doesn't spike back up then. Like, it just falls over. I could get a wicked mohawk going if I just, like, put the effort in. Anyways, the mane is starting to feel good again. Eventually, we'll go back to having something fun. But right now, this is what I've got going. Oh, my. But it's fun to have fun hair. All right. Let me see if there's anywhere I can send you guys. I'm so glad he can sleep in here while I'm streaming nowadays. Shingus is live, and so is Claire. I'm gonna go hang out with Claire. We are raiding... where are you, Claire? Okay, we're raiding Professor Claire. She's been live for like 44 minutes. She's playing Slay the Princess. It's a first play. I have no idea what this is about, so we're gonna send you guys over there. I'm gonna load up the raid. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everyone. Sorry the stream was so late, but thanks for being here for it anyways. did my best to push through what we were doing. So we'll see when my next stream is. I'll probably try to keep on schedule, but you know who I am. At the very least, correct days. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go over to Claire. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and wrap your dad's elbow. Or I'll wrap it for you. I'll take care of your dad.